Let me tell you about Sarah, a woman who thought she had it all figured out until she didn't. She'd been married to James for 15 years. You know, the kind of marriage that's comfortable, stable, maybe a little too predictable. James was a good man. He remembered birthdays, helped with the dishes, and always made sure their bills were paid on time. But Sarah was feeling that itch, that restless feeling that makes you wonder if there's more to life than weekend barbecues and Netflix marathons. That's when Mike walked into her life. 28, adventurous, with that kind of smile that makes you feel like you're the only person in the room. He talked about backpacking through Europe and starting his own business. Everything about him screamed excitement and possibility. Sarah found herself making excuses to see him. Coffee meetings turned into dinner dates, and before she knew it, she was caught up in a whirlwind of stolen moments and passionate promises. Mike made her feel young again, desired, alive. So she did it. She left James, packed her bags, wrote a note, and walked away from 15 years of marriage. Her friends were shocked, her family disappointed, but Sarah was too intoxicated by her new freedom to care. The first few months with Mike were exactly what she'd dreamed of. Spontaneous road trips, late-night adventures, dancing until dawn. She felt like she was finally living. But then, reality started creeping in. Mike's adventurous spirit meant he couldn't hold down a job. His exciting business ideas never seemed to materialize into anything concrete. Those charming stories about his travels, they started to sound more like excuses for not settling down. Sarah began to notice things she'd taken for granted with James. The security of knowing someone would always have your back, the comfort of shared history, the deep understanding that comes from years of building a life together. 6 months in, she found herself sitting alone in a small apartment, scrolling through old photos on her phone. Pictures of Christmas mornings with James, anniversary dinners, even those boring weekend barbecues. They all seemed different now. She realized that what she'd mistaken for monotony was actually the quiet beauty of a well-built life. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. It was artificial turf, all shine and no substance. When she finally gathered the courage to reach out to James, she learned he'd started dating someone else. Someone who saw the value in what she'd thrown away. Sometimes the hardest lessons come from our biggest mistakes. Sarah learned that adventure isn't always about chasing what's new and exciting. Sometimes it's about finding the extraordinary in what we already have. Now she sits in her apartment, older and wiser, understanding that true happiness isn't about the grass being greener somewhere else. It's about tending to your own garden and watching it grow.